Hello everyone, welcome back to Run the NBA, and today I wanted to talk about Kyle Kuzma, one of the more interesting players for the upcoming season as far as someone who's going to be in a new situation, a new role, and could really break out and show how good he can be in the NBA, and someone who is highly motivated to do that and show that he could be an all-star caliber player. That of course is Kyle Kuzma now with the Washington Wizards after the Russell Westbrook trade. And today we're going to talk about that new role, what I think it is going to be in a team with a lot of depth in and around the forward position, and how that role that I think he will play can be very beneficial to his performance on the court, getting the best out of him, and him pushing towards that all-star berth that he wants. With that being said, if you do go on to enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. With that being said, let's talk about Kyle Kuzma and what we can expect from him with the Washington Wizards this upcoming season. So let's start about the difference in the role that I expect Kyle Kuzma to have with the Washington Wizards compared to what he has had with the Lakers throughout his 4 years in the NBA. It's also worth noting that Kuzma is now on his new contract that'll continue through for a couple of years. But Kuzma's best offensive numbers from a pure points perspective were in the first 2 years of his career, which is not typical of any player, but it's not indicative of Kuzma's decrease in play. Sure, you can argue his play has declined in quality, but I don't necessarily think that is because his ability to be good being lesser, but simply due to the fact that the role he is in has been worse for what fits his game and what makes him successful. Let's just walk through his role quickly with the first 4 years of his career with the LA Lakers. Year one, there was no LeBron, there was no AD, it was just a bunch of young guys on the team, and so he got his touches. Lonzo was still there, BI was still there, Josh Hart was still there, all those young pieces were still there, and so as a rookie he came in, he was someone that they thought was a very valuable part of their future, and he was a good three-point shooter, could make his own shot. This was a good shot creator. That was his strength, whether it was in the starting lineup or off of the bench, and he did that well. Year two, LeBron came in the 2018-19 season, but Kuzma still had a significant role. He was a full-time starter now, started 68 of the 70 games he played, averaged nearly 19 points a night, because even with LeBron on the team, there was still no AD, there was none of really the other vets that were brought in the last couple of years. And LeBron also missed a significant portion of the season with that injury towards the latter half of the season. And so that led Kuzma to having a very significant offensive role as well, which led to him having those extra touches and scoring nearly 19 points a night. His efficiency from deep did drop, but that was due to the fact he was a bit more of a shot creator and making his own shot, and that was something he has to work on moving forward, as he now will have the chance to create his own three-point shot a bit more. But nonetheless, something he struggled with in year two. Moving forward to year three and year four, he started a combined 41 games out of the over 120 that he played. He featured way less minutes and starts. He shot the ball less, and a lot more of his shots were not coming off of him creating his own shot and being a part of the on-ball offense, but more so him being that tertiary or fourth option with LeBron on the court, with AD on the court, or with Rajon Rondo on a court being a playmaker. Things like that just didn't lead to Kyle Kuzma being able to be a shot creator, be that main on-ball guy, which led to his numbers dropping, and in turn, his quality of play dropping, because he is not that great as a catch-and-shoot guy. He is not that great off the ball. He's adapted and become serviceable for the Lakers, but it's not his ideal role. He's not the most comfortable with it, and it's quite noticeable, and he has definitely subtly, or sometimes a little bit less subtly, vocalized that. His defense is still fine. His defense has improved in the secondary role. But let's talk about the Washington Wizards and how his offense can improve. Let's talk about what role I expect him to be in, although that's up for debate, and you can be sure to let me know down in the comment section what you guys think his role will be with this Washington Wizards team next year. And let's talk about how well he could succeed in that role. So when we're talking about the Washington Wizards next year, at the forward positions, they have Davis Bertans, Kyle Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, Corey Kispert, and Denny Avdija. KCP could also play sometime at the 3, but he will most likely play exclusively at the 2 due to their lack of depth at the 2 and their very much presence of depth at the 3 and the 4. So then you have Dia, Corey Kispert. Those are primarily going to be your 3s. Rui Hachimura, Kyle Kuzma, Davis Bertans project to be more of the 4s. Rui Hachimura, of course, being the youngest of them all, the one with the least experience in the league of the 3 power forwards. And I would expect that he remains the starting power forward. Now, whether that means he plays more minutes than Kyle Kuzma, that remains to be seen. But at only 23, Rui Hachimura had a good year last year, continues to steadily improve throughout his young NBA career, and I think he fits better in the starting lineup. And let's talk about why, and let's talk about why that makes more sense for Kuzma to come off the bench, and why I think that'll be his role. Spencer Dinwiddie is in the starting lineup, and most notably Bradley Beal is in the starting lineup. So that means, again, if Kuzma starts, he is not going to be a guy with the ball in his hands a lot, shot creating, being a primary guy on the ball, running the offense. Now, I'm not saying that Kyle Kuzma is going to be the primary ball handler on the bench necessarily, because he needs to improve his playmaking skills and even his dribbling skills to do that. That's not to say that Kuzma can't be getting the ball often on the wing on the bench to create his own shot, and that's not something I think he'll get anywhere near as much in the starting lineup, especially with Bradley Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie in the backcourt. Rui Hachimura, however, can be a catch-and-shoot 3 guy, does demand a lot less touches on the offensive end, can get you some offensive rebounds, and fits better with guys that need heavy touches like Bradley Beal and Spencer Dinwiddie, which makes sense for why he will stay in the starting lineup, and why Kuzma can remain as the guy off the bench. Now, with regards to the bench role for Kyle Kuzma, this is not just, oh, he's on the bench. He's going to be the 6th man for this team. I have no doubt in my mind. Prototypically, sure, your 6th man is a guard, or if your team has Montrezl Harrell on it, then it's Montrezl Harrell. But Harrell only has 1 year left on his deal. I don't think he's going to be a part of this team that the Wizards really rely on. As much as this Wizards team would love to push for the play-in games again this upcoming season, they do have 2 young centers, Daniel Gafford, and when Thomas Bryant comes back from injury, Thomas Bryant. And so I would think that they will prioritize the play of those 2 guys over Montrezl Harrell. I also think that some guys just have to be dealt from this team because they just have an obscene amount of depth, something I've talked about in previous videos and we'll probably talk about in the next couple of weeks. But besides the point, I think Kyle Kuzma will be the 6th man on this team. If you want to make an argument that it's going to be Montrezl Harrell, sure, you can make that argument. I think they'll both play decent minutes off the bench, especially until at least Thomas Bryant is back from injury. But Kuzma is going to be that guy. He's a potential long-term piece for them. That's someone they're going to want to continue to develop more as compared to Montrezl Harrell, who I doubt will be brought back once his contract expires at the end of the season. Kyle Kuzma in his 6th man role fits well for this team, primarily because they don't have a great 6th man guard. KCP is a catch-and-shoot 3-and-D guy. Aaron Holiday and Raul Neto are fine backup point guards, but you're not considering them the 6th man to go out and get you buckets. Kyle Kuzma definitely can be, because that's what he did with the Lakers in the first 2 years of his career. A lot of it was as a starter, but he can go out and he can get you buckets. He's not an amazing playmaker, although he has shown flashes, but I think playmaking is definitely an area of his game he needs to improve on to be an on-ball 6th man guy. I think his handle can continue to improve, and just his general efficiency from deep. But generally speaking, he is most comfortable. He is best with the ball in his hands, creating his own shot. That's just the way it is for Kyle Kuzma. He is not the most comfortable off-ball catch-and-shoot guy. That's just not where Kyle Kuzma's game lies. Anyone who watches Kyle Kuzma will recognize that. And his expressions on the court over the last couple of years, and especially this offseason with his excitement for this opportunity with the Wizards, would tell you that and would show you that. And so I think Kyle Kuzma is going to fit perfectly into the 6th man role. I think his offensive numbers are going to jump. His efficiency might take a hit early on just due to the fact that he's going to have to take more difficult shots than he has with the Lakers for the last couple of years. But in the long run, I think it's going to be best for the development of Kyle Kuzma. And when this contract of his with the Washington Wizards expires, he'll either have the chance to re-up as a 6th man at the Wizards, seek an opportunity to be the 6th man on another team, or do something like Jeremy Grant did last year and go on a weaker team and try and really show your talent in the starting lineup and really bet on himself and make his worth known in the NBA. Kyle Kuzma has a lot of options now. He is in a much healthier place to really show his true talent, his true worth, and his true role in the NBA. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you think this is the ideal role for Kyle Kuzma, or at least a much improved one from the role he had with the LA Lakers, and how he could use it to improve and propel his NBA career. With that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.